Okay, so this is homework number 16. All right, homework 16. The last homework of the week. So let's just kind of get through this, and then you can have a good weekend. Um, First weekend of November. So let's get at it. Number one says if A is at the point -2, comma 3, and B is at the point 3, comma -2, what is the slope of AB? And so hint, use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, what we're going to do, make sure it's okay, it's good. So we're going to rewrite our points. Point A, we have at -2, comma 3. We got point B at 3, comma -2. So what we're going to do, let me kind of slide this up some. What we're going to do next is we're going to put, remember, this minus that. So the y's values go first. So my top part of my numerator is going to be 3 minus -2. 3 minus -2. Because we're finding the difference, so that's why there's a minus in between. So same thing with the x's, -2 minus 3. So my denominator, -2 minus 3. All I need to do is put this in the calculator, exactly how it looks. Okay, so 3 minus -2, -2 minus 3. If you went backwards the other way, if you went -2 minus 3, you could do that also, or 3 minus 2. Let's get our calculator. We will put this in. While I'm doing that, you can do it on yours, on your end. Alright, we're going to get an answer of -1. Okay, so there's number 1. Alright. Okay, so number 2 says, in order to join a yoga club, there is a $100 annual fee, $100 annual fee, sorry, and a $5 fee for each class you attend. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models this situation. So remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we're going to need to find our slope, and we're going to need to find our y-intercept. Okay, so the slope, what happens each time? So like each class we're talking about. So do you pay $100 for each class? Or do you pay $5 for each class? We pay $5 for each class, so that's going to be my slope. So, m is 5. That's my slope. Y-intercept, where do you already start, like, join, like, what do you already pay when you just start joining the class, like, automatically? Right here, $100 annual fee. So do you pay $100 one time? Yes. Do you pay $5 one time? No, you're going to pay $5 for each class. So my y-intercept is going to be 100. So now that I have these two numbers, all I got to do is plug in. So I'm going to plug in for slope, and I'm going to plug in for the y-intercept. So y equals 5x plus 100. There we go. So number 2 is writing the equation. I think number 3 is going to be solving it. So I'll do that on a separate sheet on the next video, on the next part of the video. Okay. So y equals 5x plus 100. Okay. So number 3 is using the equation from number 2. It says using that equation, what is the total cost for attending 23 classes at the yoga club? So remember, the x is how many classes you attend. So we're going to multiply however many classes we attend times 5. If we did like times 1 class, like 5 times 1 would be $5, and then plus 100, so the total would be 105. But what this question is asking for is the total cost for attending 23 classes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in parentheses this x. And what that means is that I am multiplying whatever is in here times 5. And then I have to add $100 to it. So this 23 is what's going to go inside the parentheses. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this x inside of here. And I'm going to replace it with 23. Just like that. That's all you have to do. So now 5 times 23 and then plus 100. So figure that out. While you're figuring that out, wait a little while. Okay? And that's going to tell you how much the total cost for attending those 23 classes. If you did this correctly, okay, you're going to get that attending 23 classes, it would cost $215. I'm going to outline that in red. There we go. Okay, number 4. Using the graph, what is the slope of the line below? So all we're going to be looking for is the slope. Oops. We're going to look for the slope. Okay, the n, lowercase n. So this is just one quadrant of my graph. There's no points on here, as you can see. So I'm going to make a couple points from here. Let's see. Let's find where these points intersect. I can go there. And then I can also go there. Alright? Just those 2 points really quickly. Alright, so I'm going down. If I'm going down from this left point, then that means my slope automatically is going to be a negative slope. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to put, that's a little too big. There you go. A negative slope. Okay. Now let's see what it's negative by. I'm going to zoom in some. Okay. So here's my numbers. Here. So it goes down 1. Okay. It goes down 1 from 13 to 12. So it goes down 1. And then it goes over one interval, but we gotta make sure that interval, we gotta see what this goes by. So if that's 1, then that 1's gonna be my numerator here for my slope. Now we just need to find out my denominator. So look at my intervals here, right there, from 50 to 75. How much is that going to the right? Well, it's going 25, because that's my difference between 50 and 75. So this is going to be 25 right here. So if I got that, then that's going to go over here on my denominator. So my answer is going to be negative 1 over 25. It's a negative slope because I'm going down. That's the first thing I do is go down. So that's the answer to number 4. Okay, number 5 says to solve the equation for k. So we're solving for k, it's just like if we were solving for x. So just because it's a different letter, don't let that confuse you. So if I look at my equation, I have parentheses here and then with an 8 outside of the parentheses. So what I need to do is I need to multiply everything inside these parentheses by this number 8. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to rewrite everything here exactly how it looks. So let's do that. 38 plus 7k equals. Alright, so now like I said, I'm multiplying everything in here. So 8 times k is really like 8 times 1. So 8 times 1k would end up being 8k. Now 8 times a positive 4. 8 times 4 is 32, and it's positive, so it's going to be 8k plus 32. Alright, so hopefully by now we're getting the hang of solving for equations. You know by now that I like to have all my variables on the left side, the equal side. So if I look here, this k, 8k, I'm going to do the inverse to bring it over here. So when I do the inverse, it's going to go underneath the plus 7k. Not underneath the 38, but under the plus 7k. The reason that it goes under the plus 7k is because there are like terms. So let's go, the inverse of a plus 8k would be minus 8k. Minus 8k. I draw my line. Now I just work my way down. 38 comes down. Plus 7k minus 8k. Put that in your calculator if you need to, because this isn't just 1k, it's a negative 1k. So I'm going to say negative 1k. Now, do I really need to have the 1 in front of it? No. So you can just make it negative k. Actually, you know what? We will make it 1k. And I'll show you why. Alright, that equals, this is going to zero out. And then I bring the 32 down. So now I have 31 minus 1k equals 32. So I got to take the inverse of this 38 and put it to the other side. And it's going to go underneath 32 because it's a like term. It doesn't go underneath this, okay, because it doesn't have a variable attached to it. So the inverse of plus 38 is minus 38. Minus 38. This is going to come across. So now I'm going to find a z out that. That's going to z out. Let me move this up some. The minus 1k or negative 1k will come down. And then that equals 38 minus, or 32 minus 38 is going to be negative 6. So now we're left with negative 1k. So we don't, what we're going to do is we're going to divide by the coefficient that's in front of the variable. In this case, it's a negative 1. If it was a positive 1, then we wouldn't, you don't have to do it. It's just dividing by 1. But in this case, we're going to divide by negative 1 because it does have a negative attached to it. So divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. This is going to make 1. And we have k equals negative 6 divided by negative 1 is a positive 6. So k equals 6. That's the answer to number 5, solving for that equation.